Drake, on your point about how do we do this and make sure it's different this time is, I mean, how I see it right now is that's what we're about with Self-Perfected, with TechnoTutor and all that, is to find the right people, because it does take numbers. You don't actually need that many people to really get into power, but it's about building a network of people with influence and us leaving a track record of what we stand for. So in the next 15 years, as we rise to higher positions, have more wealth, have more people joining all of this, it becomes easier to disseminate messages amongst us and then get it out to people on a more grassroots level, so that even if Twitter or Facebook or whatever starts coming out and saying Cameron Cope is the most hated man in America, or Mitchell Snyder and Jessica Nelson are white supremacists, or some shit like that, that you know is not true, you have a track record of us. We now have a network of people who know us, trust us, and then also we are smart enough to understand how laws work and how the system works, so that we see not just first order consequences, but second, third, fourth order consequences, so that we can now take the systems that are here, such as, for example, how Amazon can get you a package in 2 days, or all sorts of things that are already here, and even things that are proposed, like things like cryptocurrency and all that, and like changes from the dollar to whatever. It's like, I see it as, for anyone not watching on the video, it's like we have the world right now is going at a certain slope, and we're coming in, but we're moving faster, so to speak, and we're going to eclipse it at some point in the future. My intention is to do it as fast as possible, and that's why we get the word out. But as more people come and join the movement and everything we're doing, we're going to find the people who are ready to run for Congress, or be governor of their state, or mayor of their city, or join us in the White House, or Canadian Parliament, or whatever. So that all of us, though, the difference is our starting point. We have our principles, the 13 principles. It's on the website. And that's what we stand for. So now we have common sense, and we have agreement between us of what we're actually here to do. And then the right people show up. And then in the implementation of that, we not only have the political solutions, but we have the culture and the people and the branding and the messaging, so that people can really see what it's about, and it becomes just this common sense understanding. Oh, and then also, not to mention TechnoTutor becoming a household name, so that kids are raised with common sense. So by the time they're 18, they can actually vote for this stuff and understand what's going on, instead of just being brainwashed by Facebook, Twitter, and all that stuff. Because, oh, it felt so emotional, and oh my God, Joe Biden. Someone was trying to tell me the other day that they're like, it was so inspirational with Joe because he stuttered and he met this kid, and they did a whole special on it where this like third grade kid also stuttered, and Joe Biden gave him his personal cell phone number. Now, if you have a stuttering issue, I hope you can get that resolved, because I'm sure that will help you. But I don't care about the president or attempted president helping some kid who has a stutter. Like, if he wants to do that, cool.
Yeah,
but
go be a speech therapist.
Nothing to do with him running the last country on earth that has any semblance of freedom.
That's a great point.
It has nothing to do with it. It just pulls on your emotions, because they know exactly what the fuck they're doing.
Why do you think every time that he is on camera, every time he's interviewed, every time he does a debate, he brings up, and for all those who have a missing seat at the table?
Yeah, who has a fucking missing seat at the table? Yet to meet anyone I know who has
statistically not
COVID.
very many. Exactly.
Yeah, but oh God, he is a good politician. I loved in the most recent debate when he like started to talk about their families, and Joe's like, no one cares about your family, they don't care about my family, and then he looks at the camera, he's like, but for those Americans who are lost their lives, whatever. And then Trump's like, Joe, you talk like a politician. I'm not like the usual politician. I was like, oh damn, that
he was like
so
typical politician.
Yeah. Turning to the camera.
That was the best way to retort against that too, because it was.
And now that's what we represent too, and that's what I think. What Trump is ushering in a whole new era is people getting into politics who are not standard politicians. I've liked too looking into Dan Crenshaw. He's a Navy SEAL. He was not raised politician, and so
he's right over here, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, keep hearing more about Texas. I'm like, this is really cool. And I think it's a new wave of people that are interested in politics now. But the only group that I see, and I've studied a lot of this, I've investigated a lot. I've talked to a ton of people. They're like, oh, you should, we're starting a political party too. And I'm like, that you guys are based on is just like whack. It was like they're trying to like bring in some like Native American spirituality thing, and it's like one life or something. And I'm like, that sounds cool, but like that is not like, you need to have the current elite, the billionaires, the people who really know how these systems work. We need to be able to go into the rooms with them and approach it with common sense of, hey, this is still best for you too, where the world's headed. And so it's like, if you're thinking that you can just, because you're doing some message that has to do with spirituality or something, and you're getting, no, that's stupid. So with us, we're bringing in a combination of common sense, culture, bringing together a movement of people who are all in agreement in principle, then also the political understanding, and then the wealth and the business, because it requires all fronts to do this. And then we have the whole younger generation where Max and Seneca are an example, along with all the other kids that are part of Techno Tutor that you don't see, because Cameron and Katie are graciously showing Max and Seneca on YouTube, where a lot of parents aren't that bold to make videos of their kids online. But there's a whole group of these kids now. You'll see it with me and Jess, as Asif, Drake, as all y'all have kids too. But then when they turn 8 or 12 or 18, that's a whole new wave too. So it's like we're really this first wave to go in, clear house. So then the second and the third wave come in, and then we can actually really live these solutions and guarantee and then apply the principle of prevention, so that we can really see, okay, how do we guarantee that this stays here? Because it ain't going to be a nice, clean overnight process.
Right.
It's probably going to be years and years of hammering this out. But there it's on record. That's what we stand for.
That was really well explained.
That's really well said. Yeah.
That's cool.
Did you want to add something, Asif? Or?
Really, it's just, I want to get into it. I don't know if right now, because I don't know if you want to add more on that specific point, but just where other people have failed, we're accounting for that. Whether it be, Trump not being able to trust the other people in his administration, the longevity, because, for example, a president can only be in for 8 years at a time. Or if you want to go back to any kind of movement, or even way back to Jesus too. Like you were saying earlier, Cameron, like he fucking screwed up. Like he didn't achieve what he wanted to do.
He didn't know enough. Yeah.
Right. And the people he was dealing with as well.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know what to make of this point specifically, but I don't see any other way this would have been possible except for in this point in time.